The price of success. In a serene village nestled between lush green hills and flowing river, there lived two girls named Alero and Mero. The village was known for its vibrant culture and close-knit community, where everyone knew one another. Alero and Mero had been inseparable since they were little, bound by a friendship that seemed unbreakable. Alero was a dreamer from a young age. She was always talking about the world beyond their village, about the big cities with their towering buildings and endless opportunities. She had a fierce determination in her eyes and a heart full of ambition. Miro, on the other hand, was content with the simple beauty of their village life. She found joy in small things: a walk by the river, the sound of the wind in the trees, and the warmth of her friends' laughter. Despite their differences, the two friends balanced each other perfectly. Alero's dream inspired Miro, while Miro's calmness grounded Alero. They would spend hours under the baobab tree near the river, sharing their thoughts, dreams, and secrets, swearing that nothing could ever come between them. Years passed, and Alero's dreams began to take shape. She excelled in school, and her hard work did not go unnoticed. One day, she received the news that she had won a prestigious scholarship to study in the city, a place she had always dreamed of. The village celebrated her achievement with a grand feast, and Miro was the happiest of all, even though she knew she would miss her friend terribly. "I'm so proud of you, Alero," Miro said, hugging her tightly. "But promise me you will write and you'll come back often." Alero smiled. Her eyes sparkled with excitement. "Of course, Miro. You will always be my best friend. Nothing can change that." With that promise, Alero left the village and embarked on her new journey. The city was everything she had imagined and more. It was vast and bustling, full of people, opportunities, and challenges. Alero thrived in this environment, quickly making a name for herself. She studied hard, networked with influential people, and soon landed a high-paying job at a renowned company. Back in the village, Miro continued her life as a seamstress, crafting beautiful clothes for the villagers. She missed Alero dearly, but took comfort in the letters they exchanged. Alero wrote about her life in the city, the people she met, the places she visited, and the success she achieved. Miro was genuinely happy for her friend, even though their lives were becoming more and more different. However, as time went on, Alero's letters became less frequent, and when they did arrive, they were shorter and less personal. Miro noticed the change but tried to understand. She must be busy, Miro thought. Her life in the city is so different from ours. Then one year, Alero didn't return for the village annual harvest festival, an event she had never missed. Miro waited, hoping to hear from her, but days turned into weeks, and there was no word from Alero. The villagers too began to notice Alero's absence and whispered among themselves about how she had changed since she left for the city. Miro, however, defended her friend, believing that Alero would never forget her roots. But deep down, a part of her began to worry. Had success really changed Alero? It wasn't until after Alero returned to the village for a prestigious award ceremony in her honor that Miro got the answer. The villagers had organized a grand event to celebrate Alero's accomplishments. The entire village was abuzz with excitement, and Miro, despite her lingering doubts, was eager to see her friend again. When Alero arrived, she was dressed in her finest clothes, riding a sleek car, things the villagers had only seen in magazines. Her presence was commanding, and she was accompanied by important-looking people from the city. As she stepped out of the car, the villagers cheered and clapped, but Mero stood back, watching her friend from a distance. Alero greeted the villagers with a polite smile and brave conversations, but something was different. The warmth and the familiarity she once had seemed to be replaced by a distant formality. When her eyes finally met Mero's, there was a moment of hesitation. Mero approached her, her heart pounding, hoping to rekindle the bond they once shared. Alero, it's been so long. I've missed you, Mero said, her voice filled with emotion. Alero looked at Mero, but there was no spark of recognition in her eyes. Instead, her gaze was cold and distant. Mero had been very busy, Alero replied, her flat tone. Life in the city is different, you know. I don't have much time for the things we used to do. Mero felt a pang of hurt but tried to remain hopeful. I understand that, Alero, but we've always been close. I thought our friendship was stronger than that. Alero surged, as if brushing off an uncomfortable topic. We've grown apart, Mero. I've moved on, and I think you should too. We are not the same people we used to be. Mero's heart broke as she heard those words, but she refused to let her pain show. Instead, she took a deep breath and nodded. If that's how you feel, Alero, then I wish you all the best. I'll always cherish the memories we've made. With a heavy heart, Mero turned and walked away, leaving Alero surrounded by the adoring villagers. As she walked, Mero felt a sense of relief. It was as if a burden had been lifted from her shoulders. She realized that the Alero she had known and loved was no longer the person standing before her. The friend she had cherished was gone, replaced by someone who had lost sight of what truly mattered. As the days turned into weeks, Mero immersed herself in her work, finding solace in her craft and the love of the villagers. She became known for her generosity and the beautiful clothes she made, and soon people from neighboring villages came to her for special occasions. Mero's life was simple, but it was filled with love and respect from those around her. Meanwhile, Alera returned to the city, where her life continued at its relentless pace. She attended parties, met influential people, and climbed higher on the social ladder. But no matter how much she achieved, she couldn't shake the emptiness that gnawed at her heart. The laughter, the applause of her new friends never seemed to fill the void left by the loss of her old friend. One night, as she sat alone in her luxurious apartment, Alera found herself thinking about Mero and the village. She missed the simplicity, the genuine connections, and most of all, she missed the person she used to be. The realization hit her hard. She had sacrificed something precious for success, something that all the wealth and recognition in the world could never replace. Determined to make amends, Alero decided to return to the village. She knew it wouldn't be easy, and she wasn't sure if Miru would forgive her, but she had to try. When she arrived in the village, the air was thick with the scent of earth and flowers, a stark contrast to the city's cold, sterile atmosphere. As she walked through the familiar street, memories of her childhood flooded back, and Alero felt a pang of nostalgia. She found Mero in a small workshop surrounded by colorful fabrics and the hum of sewing machine. Mero looked up as Alero entered, her expression unreadable. For a moment, neither of them spoke. The silence was heavy with unspoken words, regrets, and passage of time. Finally, Alero spoke, her voice trembling. Mero, I've come to apologize. I was wrong. I let success get into my head, and I pushed away the people who truly mattered. I'm sorry. Mero studied her friend for a long moment before responding. Alero, I was hurt by the way you treated me, but I've also come to understand that people change. What's important is whether they can see their mistakes and try to see and make things right. Alero nodded, tears welling up in her eyes. I want to make things right, Mero. I miss our friendship. I miss you. Mero's expression softened and she smiled gently. I miss you too, Alero. But rebuilding trust takes time. We may never be the same as we once were, but we can start anew as people that we have become now. With that, Mero extended her hands and Alero took it, a sign that they were both willing to try again. The path to mending their friendship would be long and uncertain, but it was a path they were willing to walk together. Over time, Alora began to visit the village more often, reconnecting not just with Miro, but with other villagers as well. She realized that true success wasn't about wealth or status, but about relationships. She nurtured and the love she gave and received. As for Miro, she welcomed Alero back into her life. Though their friendship had changed, it was no longer the innocent bond of childhood, but a deeper connection forged through hardship, forgiveness, and growth. They had both learned valuable lessons. Alero about humility and the dangers of pride, and Miro about the strength of her own heart and the importance of self-worth. At the end, Alero and Miro found a new balance in their relationship, one built on mutual respect. If you love this channel, please don't forget to subscribe, give it a thumbs up, and share. Thank you.